Since AI slop has taken over the internet, I figure it's our turn to contribute to the Matrix. In this episode, we'll be using Cursor AI to develop our own web game and implement our performer characters into it. And this was actually our first successful multiplayer experience. So the idea, I wanted to make a capture the flag kind of game. It's called Crown Chase. There's a crown that spawns on the map. You pick up the crown, you hold the crown, the other players have to get the crown from you. And of course, you accrue points the whole time that you're holding the crown itself. As you can see, I probably gave the AI way too much information to start, and these early attempts are just so off. Like, you see it trying to formulate itself and get the idea, but everything is off about it. It's not even a map I could walk around. It's just completely nothingness, AI slop. But after about 3 or 4 prompts, you can see it dialing in. I actually have a character I can control and move around the screen. So then from there, we created the basic map that you can move around. I implemented our player animations onto it, and you can kind of see the foundations that this game was creating. Once I felt comfortable enough with the player movements, then we added the crown. Made it so you could pick up the crown. Cool. Let's add the AI in there. Boom. Beautiful. This is basically the game we wanted. The AI is very stupid, if we're being honest. It's not any fun to play against, but the functionality is all there. We chase after the crown, we get it from each other, accrue points. Then we added this little arrow to kind of point where the crown or the player holding the crown is, just to kind of communicate to the player what they're doing so people don't get lost. And the basic functionality was in. So from there, I wanted to add the multiplayer element. So for that, it's going to take a title screen, obviously, let people input the username, and then select one of the performers. I didn't want to do the whole list of performers for this one, so I just went ahead and chose one performer from every class that you could choose. And then that got the game fully running multiplayer, but we ran into 2 problems instantly. A, it wasn't tracking the proper skin for the performers. You could see the correct skin on your side, but other players were still just seeing the default character. And then the AI and the crown was off on every single client. So if I'm playing and you're playing, our crown and our AI was different in both sides. It was being tracked on the client side, but not the server side. So this took a lot of iterations. I started with the AI trying to figure that out. And after about 20 tests, I just decided it's not working. I cut the AI out of the game, and instantly everything got better. Everything started syncing up. Now we just need to figure out the crown movements. You can see here's an example of 2 players having 2 different crowns spawned in different locations and then not syncing until they grab one. So that took about 10 iterations to try to, hammer that in and figure that out. Eventually that clicked. And then my main focus was to increase crown responsiveness. I was running into this issue where sometimes you would hit the person, it'd register the hit, it would play the animation, but they wouldn't steal the crown. Sometimes the issue was they'd steal the crown back too quick, then I add a bigger delay. Other times you'd run through them too quick and then it wouldn't register that you actually took it. And I basically ran into every networking problem that you could run into when trying to detect the crown movement. And I just got it to a place where it was good enough, and then I could move on with life because I didn't have all day to be fussing on this. This was a side project tester. We got to move on. So next, I got all the skins implemented. I made it so it's correctly displaying each character's skin. And from there, I did another pass on the crown, trying to hammer that and get it as close as I can. But like I said, this was my first multiplayer test with AI or not with AI. So I just had so much to learn, and that's what this was for. So that's basically the state of the game. I've tested it 5 times since then. Half the times I log on to play, it works flawlessly. The other half I log on to play, there's too much latency to properly chase the crown. So I might have to do the distance between the 2 computers, how far you are from the server, yada yada. The server is hosted in San Francisco. So yeah, I don't know. But as a first multiplayer test for performers, I was happy with how this one turned out. This was a fun little, week experiment that I got to run through. So if you guys want to check this one out, it's at chase.theperformers.com. Yeah, this was actually for a 1-week game contest they had going on. It was build a game in 1 week using AI. It started off, it had to be multiplayer, then it turned, it could be anything, but I never did a multiplayer game, so I had to take it as that test since I have a few on the horizon. And yeah, I'll leave the information on the contest here, some of the other results, and people just went crazy, man. Some of the stuff they're building with AI is absolutely insane. I think they're all just kind of fun, casual games. It doesn't match anything actual game developers are doing yet, but for being this early, it's spooky, and I'm glad to partake and kind of have fun just testing new technologies. But let me tell you, I'm excited to dive back into Godot and make some quality over quantity, let me tell you. And that's going to be the end of this little AI tester series. I just wanted to run through all these tests, A, to familiarize myself with the new technology, and B, to hyper test some ideas that we're implementing in our single player games. So I hope you enjoyed them. Next week, we're going to pick up with some heavier devlogs. I got one with the Cool Crocs game coming, and yeah, I'm excited to show you guys. But I appreciate you logging in for this Cursor series. If you want more in-depth stuff on Cursor AI, let me know. If you're ready to hop back into the actual Godot devlogs, let me know. Either way, appreciate you watching. This is The Circus, not the circus. We'll catch you later.